Hey guys, welcome to my post-patch PDW review. I know patch is now ancient news. It has been over a month since release on all three systems. But the PDW class is my personal favorite and probably my most extensively used class, mainly because it is all class weapon group. You can use it in any of your classes: recon, support, medic, and engineer. It does not matter. We're going to be talking about all 7 of the guns in this video with about 5 minutes of gameplay for each gun, and I will be giving you damage stats, patch changes. All the guns were changed during the patch, damage-wise, but I think only 1 or 2 had their recoil changed. I think only 1 actually did. So they really didn't change that much, but a lot of people have also just naturally avoided these weapons. Because there was the basic myth that they're only good for within about 10 feet of the enemy, and after that they're worthless. And if you've been paying attention, if you've played against me, you probably noticed me mowing you down with some of these from like 100 meters away, probably thinking what the hell, he's probably hacking or something. It's just learning how to fire with them, and we'll go through each one and point out its strengths and weaknesses, and we'll go through all of them into, I break them up into 3 groups kind of. You got the pea shooters, the heavy hitters or hard hitters, I guess, and then the AS Val gets its own little group because it's just so unique. It really doesn't even belong as a PDW. The first weapon up will be the pea shooters class, and the first one to be reviewed will be the MP7. The MP7 is a 950 round per minute, so that is the second fastest gun in the game behind the FAMAS. We're going to talk about actual guns. The MP7 has a magazine capacity of 20+1 rounds with 1 in the chamber. Its pre-patch damage was 20 at 12 meters, dropping to 10 at 50 meters and beyond. After patch, we're still at 20 at 12 meters, but the minimum damage was boosted to 11.2 at 46 meters and beyond. The gun's recoil didn't change. It's got a .12 vertical and a .45 to the left and the right. It's the highest side-to-side recoil, I believe, of the PDWs. Its reload times stayed the same at 2.4 with a chambered round and 2.7 without. The gun can shoot in single or auto fire. Basically, the gun is a definition of a close quarters weapon. Because of the high side-to-side recoil and the extremely fast rate of fire, it is not optimal for medium, or it's definitely not optimal for long range engagements. I wouldn't suggest any of these guns we're going to be talking about for a long range engagement. Long range to me is anything over about 100 meters. This gun's best area is between 1 foot in front of your face and about 50 meters, so where its minimum damage starts. It is a 9 shot to kill at minimum damage, so you really want to stay within that 50 meters. With the lower magazine capacity and the extreme high rate of fire at the 20+1 rounds, you can empty your magazine in it's a little bit over a second, and you fly through rounds like crazy. You can see me right there dropping ammo. Suggested class is support for this weapon if you're going to run it, or make sure somebody in your squad's running ammo. I choose the support class when I'm doing the reviews so I can run the speed. That way I can move around a little bit faster in team deathmatch and make it seem more action-packed, I guess. But with that smaller magazine, your main goal when you start using this weapon is going to be to unlock the extended mags, because 20 rounds is just not enough. You can be pretty accurate and you can kill easily within 5 to 10 shots in close quarters, but it shoots so fast, good luck trying to only get off 5 shots. More than less likely, anytime you hold down that trigger, you're going to let off about 10 shots. Meaning you could about look forward to killing maybe 2 people with the normal clip. So extended mags allow you to mow down more people and gives you a longer sustained rate of fire ability, but you still fly through the ammo. So I would still suggest ammo perk and anything like that. It is the definition of a pea shooter. It shoots a low damage round, and it shoots it extremely fast, and when you run the extended mags, there's a lot of them. Extended mags boost you from 20+1 to 40+1. So you get double the magazine capacity, which is improves the gun a ton. In the video, I ran extended mags because I knew I was going to be medium engaging a lot, and anything past 20 meters, a lot of your shots are going to miss because of that high side-to-side recoil. And you can see it here when I'm shooting at them. It's just bouncing back and forth a little bit. And this is just with the hollow scope, so just a minimal amount of magnification, I guess. It's like a ×1 or something scope. It really is. It's not optimal for medium. It is just basically your close quarters melt the dude before he can even see you weapon. But the worst part is with the having to run extended mags to be able to actually kill more than one person before having to deal with the quite lengthy reload time, if you ask me, is you no longer can run silent. And silent is the PDW's main advantage over the shotguns in close quarters. So overall, this gun gets a 3.5 out of 5 from me. It's got a great high rate of fire. It can do just amazing in close quarters, but its versatility is very, very limited, and doesn't really allow people to play a lot of different ways. And the ability for it to just fly through ammo can make it kind of a pain in the butt. That's about it. Suggested sights would be red dot hollows, or the bare sights are actually pretty decent on this. Suggested attachments would be a laser scope, I guess. Up next now we got the P90. The P90 has quickly become most people's favorite P90. If you watch a lot of the other YouTubers, when they do use the PDWs, they are using a P90. It is a 900 round per minute with a 50+1 round magazine. It does not have an extended magazine option, so don't hope to God that you can run more than that. It has a max damage of 20 at 12 meters and a minimum of 10 after 50 meters. That was pre-patch. Post-patch, it got moved to 12 meters, or 11.2 after 46 meters, so it shares the same damage as the MP7. The recoil is the same, with a slightly higher vertical than the MP7 at 0.18, and a slightly less side-to-side of 0.4, both left and right. The reload is 2.5 with a chambered round and a 2.9 without. That's the same from pre-patch, and the gun can shoot single or automatic fire only. Overall, the gun is probably one of the best balanced PDWs in the game. It's got a high magazine capacity, decent damage, and extremely fast fire rate. The higher vertical recoil can kind of become a pain in the butt in long range, but the lower side-to-side makes it better than the MP7 in longer engagements. Not to mention, you can run it silenced and still have 51 rounds. That is the major benefit there. You don't have to run extended mags because it comes with a larger magazine. It fits into the pea shooter class because of the 900 rounds per minute and the low max and minimum damage, meaning it's going to take 9 shots to kill at max range, which is never a fun thing to try and do against somebody who's only got to hit you 4 times at their maximum range to at their minimum damage range to basically kill you. But if you can get into you have the first shot advantage at range, the gun is pretty mean, and being able to always run it suppressed and never have to worry as much about the clip size gives it that great advantage over the MP7. Like the MP7 and pretty much all the pea shooters, it flies through ammo, high rate of fire, 900 rounds per minute. It is one of the fastest in the game itself, and so I would suggest against support or ammo perk, with also still having a longer reload time. Try not to run completely out and keep a round chamber to help yourself out there. Overall, I can see why this is just probably the most popular PDW. It's just a very well balanced gun. I mean, the sustained fire is pretty accurate, with the ability to mow down a lot of people in one clip. I mean, if you're in close quarters you get into these funnels over here you get into like the funnel areas over here in the storage containers, and I've mowed down 3 people and still had 20 rounds left, or 10 or 15 rounds left. So I mean, it's definitely a fun weapon for that factor, but it can also take care of yourself at 50 to 70 meters. I wouldn't say anything over 70. Suggested scopes are the hollows and red points. Would not suggest anything higher because your range is not going to be that good because of the higher side-to-side recoil of 0.4. What else is there to talk about? I thought I was running out of time on it. I don't know what else. Watching me get shot there. Where did I get grenaded? I don't even know. Overall, yeah, this is going to get a 4 out of 5. Let's give it a 4 out of 5, yeah. Mainly because of the ability to run silenced and still have that larger clip. But its higher side-to-side recoil makes it inaccurate, so still not the most versatile PDW in the game by any means. And its high rate of fire also makes you run through ammo, which can be a pain in the butt for some people. Post-patch, I would also suggest try the flash suppressor on it, not just the regular suppressor, because the flash suppressor really doesn't affect the grouping at all, and allows you to kind of like lurk in those dark corners without people noticing, but you are still visible on the mini-map. So be wary of that. Up next, we're going to have the last pea shooter, and that will be the PP19. PP19 was the PDW included in the Back to Karkin DLC that was available pretty much right after the game came out. You have to do an assignment to get this unlocked. It is a down 100 round per minute pea shooter with a high rate of fire. Yeah, the magazine is 54+1, making it the highest of the PDWs. The biggest downfall, and probably the only reason why I really just don't like using this gun, is the max damage. It is 16.7 to 12 meters. After that, it dropped to 9.1, and then after the patch, they upped it to 12.5 at 50 meters. So you're looking, per bullet, it is the weakest gun in the game. The reload is unchanged at 2.5 with a chambered round and 3.8 without it. 3.8, that is a very long time to sit there trying to reload a gun. The gun can shoot in single or automatic fire. The recoil is a 0.2 vertical, 0.3 left, and 0.3 right for the side-to-side, making it the least side-to-side of the pea shooters, but with the highest vertical. But here's what this does. It gives it a more balanced recoil, in my opinion. Your gun's going about the same up as it is to the side, giving you slightly better ranged combat, and because of the slightly higher range damage compared to the other pea shooters and the better side-to-side recoil, it is by far the best distance pea shooter, but it is much worse in close quarters combat because you're doing 4 less damage per shot. So why would you really want to use this over a P90? Just the range, I guess. Some people, I guess, enjoy being able to knock people down with this. It is kind of like a mini LMG in the form of suppression, I guess. And like its pea shooter brethren, it runs through ammo like crazy, and it only gives you 4 extra bullets over the P90. And they both shoot the same rate of fire, but you're going to need those 4 extra bullets to make the kill because your damage is so much lower. In close quarters, I would say stay away. You want to kind of stay a little bit away, and you want to make sure you're the one getting the first shot. Its rate of fire is high enough to take on the slower rate of fire guns in the game, but there are higher rate of fire carbines and assault rifles that will still beat you. And pretty much all the other pea shooters in the class will beat you. Because they are in close quarters, because they've got more damage. It's just it. I mean, you're shooting. This is literally the weakest gun in the game per bullet. And yes, it has a lot of bullets, and it can shoot a bunch of them down range. But I mean, you just don't want to get into that situation where you have to rely on your bullets. I guess. Best way to describe it. Suggested scopes are hollow red dot again. Nothing too big. Have seen people run the 3.4s and ACOGs on this. Personally, I don't see any warrant for that, but some people were killing me with it, so obviously it's accurate enough. They were getting me with 70 to 80 meters out, and it would be very important to be a good aim and get lots of headshots at that range to overall just improve your damage significantly. Wow, there's a lot going on in there. Overall, I'd give this a 3.5 out of 5 because of the lower rate of damage, but the high rate of fire and big clip make up for it. Also, because you don't have to run extended mags, you have the benefit of being able to run constant suppression in the form of a flash suppressor or a regular suppressor. As you can see when I'm shooting, you can see the bullets bouncing all over the place. I would say if you're just letting go at range, you're not going to enjoy the gun. You really got to get used to burst firing with this at range. But somebody who's good at burst firing will definitely notice the improvements at ranged combat compared to other weapons. I did not do a good job of it showing it in the videos. Mainly because I don't use that many pea shooters. Pea shooters, you have to burst fire at range. The bullets will literally fly everywhere. And it's almost kind of fun to watch all the little bullets that light up around the person. And you know with the post-patch suppression, they're hating you because they can't see a damn thing. That's about it. We're going to be going to the hard hitters next. Hard hitters are the PDWs that sacrifice rate of fire for and their clip size for more damage per shot. And I figured let's start off with the worst, and that's going to be the PDWR. The PDWR is the shoots at a rate of 750 rounds per minute with a magazine of 20+1. The reload speed is 2.5 with a chambered round and 3.4 without. The weapon has a max damage of 25, which is the highest we've talked about so far, but it starts to decline before you even get out of 10 meters. It's something like 6 or 8 meters. I couldn't really see. Leveling off at 14.3, which is up from 12.5 before the patch, so it's at 14.3, but that's after 30 meters, so the gun's kill damage is really not that good in my opinion. It does have a good range damage, but we'll get to that a little bit. The recoil of the gun is 0.2 vertical, 0.2 left, and 0.4 right. The gun can shoot single burst and automatic fire. This is the first PDW we've talked about that can do burst fire. This PDW fires the largest round out of all the PDWs. Uses the 5.56 NATO rifle round, but has the shortest maximum damage of all the heavy hitters. My assumption would be the bullet just loses velocity too quickly because of the short barrel. Main reason I'm disliking the gun is the small magazine. You can run extended mags on this just like the MP7, but the problem is it's not a double. You're only going to go up to 30+1. So at 750 rounds per minute and the 30+1, you're still going to fly through rounds. And at range, you're not going to be that accurate with this gun because of the really what I call wonky recoil. That double one side of the other for the side to side. It makes your bullets just fly weird to me. Overall, I just didn't like it. I don't like wonky recoil guns when they're that extreme to me. The 0.4 to the right and the 0.2 to the left is just weird to me. Also, the slightly higher vertical recoil, I guess, compared to some of the PDW or the pea shooters, just doesn't contribute well to the gun's range. And in close quarters, you've got a very small window to inflict the gun's heavy damage. Whereas the pea shooters could shoot out to about 10 meters or 12 meters, this gun can only shoot out to about, I think it's 6 meters basically. And since it's shooting at 750 rounds per minute, which is slower than the pea shooters, overall, to me, it's really not worth it. It is a bullpup design, so it does benefit from that in the game with like being able to move faster when you're down scope or something. I remember hearing about that. Most of the PDWs that we talk about kind of are... Actually, no, this is probably the only one, isn't it? P90 kind of looks like a bullpup, but it's not. There's a clips up on top. Yeah, this is the only one that's a bullpup. So yeah, this is the only one that benefits from that. That's about its only benefit. The suggested scopes are just red dot hollow. I would not suggest trying to range combat with this. I know some people swear by this gun and just love it. And I guess if you get used to that recoil, you would probably enjoy the gun's higher damage. And this is the highest rate of fire of the hard hitters. Overall, I rate it as the worst PDW in the game. I only give it a 2 out of 5 because of the small magazine and then if you have to run extended mags like I did in the video, you lose the ability to run silenced, and then yeah, overall just not liking it. I liked it in the beginning. I don't know why I liked it in the beginning, other than I think I just hadn't unlocked other PDWs yet. But yeah, I would definitely suggest a different gun over this, personally. I know, like I said, I know people that just love this gun the most. The recoil actually does tend to give you a pretty good amount of headshots at range, but that's about it. Up next, we are going to be talking about the first PDW unlock in the game, and that is the PP2000. The PP2000 is has a slower to mid, I guess it's actually mid for this game, mid rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute, putting it it's basically average. The magazine is 20 plus 1, and the extended mags that you can unlock increase to 40 plus 1 like the MP7. But this is sacrificing suppressor capabilities. The max damage was unchanged with 25 at 12 meters, giving it the same range as the pea shooters in close quarters, but the higher damage. Then at dropping off to 12.5 at 50 meters, it was boosted from 10 by the patch up to 12.5. The recoil is a .18 for vertical, 0.3 to the left and 0.2 to the right, so it does have wonky again, but it's really not nearly as bad as the PDW, and because of the slower rate of fire, it is a little easier to control your recoil. What's the best way to describe this gun? It just works. It sounds cool when it fires. That just sounds, it sounds like a little mini chain gun or something. I don't know what it sounds like, but it just sounds cool to me. The slower rate of fire makes you able to really control this smaller magazine without having as many issues as, say, the MP7 or the PDWR had. It also gives you more control over the recoil while still remaining deadly in close quarters due to the high damage, but still having the average recoil. You can go toe-to-toe with pretty much any assault rifle or carbine in the game in close quarters. Shotguns will still get you, though. The reload times, I did not tell you. The reload time is 2.55 chambered and 3.5 without, putting it right around average and not really phenomenal, but meh. I ran the extended mags during the video when I was running it to master it, get the mastery tags and stuff on it, and I like it. It is deadly at medium range if you learn to burst fire it because of the way it recoils and stuff. It is sorry for the lag. My computer was starting to get pissed off at this point because I had a bunch of video recorded. The drive was just trying to keep up and it just couldn't do it at this point. Lost my train of thought. Close quarters combat wise, I would say it's it's just a good balance. It does great at medium, or good at medium, and it does good at close quarters, but you're still going to get beat out by other situations. Suggested scopes are hollow and red dot, and I have seen some 3.4s on it, and I don't personally run it like that. I just run hollow. You won't. For most engagements with this gun, you wouldn't need any more magnification. Some people, though, I guess, like being able to really zoom in on somebody's head or something like that at medium range combat. I've even knocked some people down past what I would say 80 meters is, and I've been amazed kind of by it. This was with the extended mags and not suppressed, and me burst firing about 28 to 30 rounds at them and getting enough hit markers to drop them. Because of that, it's a PDW, so its ranged fire is still pretty bad. Overall, I like the gun, and it allows you to level up classes that, like, a lot of people want to level up their recon class, but maybe they're not very good snipers. And before the patch, there wasn't a lot of guns that didn't really allow people to be aggressive reconers who weren't good shots. And this would allow somebody early in the game to level up their recon class, maybe until they could get a gun that they've been wanting to unlock, and let them level it up faster than using like the MK11 or the Russian one, the SVD or SVS or something like that. Up next, the UMP45. Oh, the PP2000's rating was 4 out of 5 for just being badass in almost everything. UMP45. Alright, this is by far my favorite post-patch, and it was at release too. I'm just kind of coming back to it a little bit. I just like it for its versatility, but it is a 600 round per minute. It's the lowest of the PDWs, and has a magazine capacity of 25 plus 1 with no extended mag option. The gun's damage is 25 up to 12 meters, dropping off to 13.75 after 50 meters. The recoil is a well balanced at 0.25 vertical and 0.2 to the left and right. The reload is one of the best in the games at 1.85 chambered and 2.7 without a chambered round. The gun is capable of single, burst, and automatic fire. Oh, the PP2000, I forgot to say that, can do single or automatic. It can't do burst. Anyways, back to the UMP45. The gun has a lower rate of fire, making its close quarters combat a little sketchy, but because of the high rate or the high damage in close quarters, it only takes 4 bullets to drop somebody, unless you get that awesome little "he's still alive at 0 health" thing. Don't even know how that happens, but it's happened with this gun with me. 600 rounds per minute. You're slightly below average, which means you're definitely going to want to get the first shot on somebody in close quarters, but it's ranged damage and ranged accuracy is what makes this gun shine. The smaller clip or magazine is what draws a lot of people away from this gun right away, but because of that really fast reload time, you really don't notice it a ton, and because of the slower rate of fire, you don't burn through your bullets as quickly. That is easy to say about all the hard hitters. You definitely don't run through ammo as quickly as the pea shooters. I would say the PDW can still do it though, but the PP2000 and the UMP45 are really not that bad about ammo conservation. The gun is just versatile to me in every way. I get ranged combat, and that .25, .2, .2 does what I call the encirclement, where all your recoil matches, basically, and it's such a small movement that when you're firing at ranged targets, you get like a circle of bullets on your enemy, and you're able to basically just kind of engulf them with pretty accurate fire. And if you're aiming at the high chest at range, the .2 recoil on the vertical will usually give you a headshot for like the last kill, or for like the last shot, meaning like a lot of your kill shots will be headshots with this weapon for ranged combat. Suggested scopes, I run the hollow because you can't run extended mags. You're free to run a suppressor. Flash suppressor post-patch is awesome on this gun. I still prefer just regular suppressor, so I can be Mr. Tom Clancy Splinter Cell with it, and nobody can detect me. Also, this is the only PDW other than the AS valve that I am willing to run a scope of 3.4 or even a ACOG on, because of that lower side-to-side recoil and the basically just the lack of bullet drop I noticed from the weapon. Just really allows me to burst fire and get kills at range. So you can see right there, once I burst fired, I brought the person down a lot quicker. And then this is just me failing miserably at life. God, I'm embarrassed by this. Yeah, I decided not to reload again, so I try to do it with my G18. Because that's a great idea. Fail. Just epic fail. Anyways, when I am playing well with this gun, it is just a fun gun to play with. You do have to play smart, and it is kind of a skill gun where you need to really know what you're doing, and you really have to pick your battles. Also watch for assault guys on your right side. But in close quarters and in overall damage sense, it definitely goes toe-to-toe with a lot of the assault rifles, in my opinion. And its range allows it to strike back at people more than the other PDWs, in my opinion. That's about it. I give this gun a 4 out of 5 because of the slower rate of fire and the smaller magazine. Some people might shy away from it, especially if you're a terrible shot and cannot make up for the missed shots with the lack of bullets. The high reload time, high damage, and high accuracy is what gives it a great rating to me. The last one, the AS Val. Not really a PDW. It is a assault rifle that got lost, is the best way I can describe it, and got modified on the way. It's a 900 round per minute, making it, fast for the game, kind of average, putting it in the pea shooter department. It has a damage of there we go. Has a magazine of 20+1 with the extended mags, which were added this patch after 300 kills or 350 kills. You can go to 30+1, so the same situation as the PDWR. It doesn't double it, it just gives you 10 more rounds. Its maximum damage is 20 at 6 meters, and then it drops to 18.4 after 40 meters. The recoil was slightly moved. This is the only gun that had its recoil changed. The vertical was moved from 0.3 to 0.4. Yeah, 0.4, it's the highest vertical recoil, and it shows. You really have to learn how to control your vertical recoil. The side-to-side stayed the same at 0.2 left and 0.3 right, which is a slightly wonky recoil, and the initial recoil was slightly increased. The reload time has stayed the same with a 1.6 chambered reload. That's the fastest in the game for a main weapon, and 2.7 without it. The gun is capable of automatic and single-shot mode. Post-patch, the AS Val has lost some of its awesomeness for me personally, but it's still a great gun overall. It is the only PDW that can unlock the rifle scope, because it was supposed to be kind of like the VSS from Bad Company 2. They're related. They're basically kind of the same gun, but this gun is definitely not great at range by any means. Because benefits of this gun, obviously, straight off the bat, if you look at it, it is a constantly suppressed weapon, meaning anytime you're using this weapon, nobody knows you're on the minimap. You never show up to an enemy when you're firing this weapon. And you can't change that. It is constantly suppressed. Unfortunately, because it is constantly suppressed, it deals with the same issue as all suppressed weapons, having some bullet drop and slower rounds overall, meaning it was really not that good at the whole sniper role. I have run it with the rifle scope. I wouldn't suggest it, but I have gotten kills with the rifle scope using single shot mode and people just standing around doing nothing like idiots. But In close quarters, post-patch, the gun's only gotten more dangerous. As with all PDWs, it is like a laser in close quarters with hip firing. They all seem to basically be good at that. So really, you could try it. Because you're constantly suppressed, meaning you can go Tom Clancy nonstop. That leaves you open to run any attachment you really want to, whether it be like a laser sight, extended mag, stuff of that nature. With extended mags, this allows you to basically do exactly what we did pre-patch in close quarters, but this time you run out of bullets a lot less frequently, allowing you to really take advantage of the amazingly fast reload time. The damage being at pretty much, the damage drop off being as low as it is, basically makes it probably the best. It is the best ranged PDW. With the high recoil, kind of counters that. Can't remember. Lost my train of thought again. The suggested scopes are pretty much anything you want to throw on this, because it can do it. It's range damage, allows it to kill in about 6 shots, I think. And most of your engagements, you're going to be anywhere between you're going to average around 19 damage per shot for all your engagements, is the best way I can describe it. Which is pretty good in this game. That is basically an assault rifle's damage then. But you're shooting 900 rounds per minute and you're constantly suppressed. And with the extended mags, you're even put basically up onto a assault rifle's magazine size. Its distance accuracy, though, is lower, so just be aware of that. Other than that, this one's going to get a 4.5 out of 5. It's going to take the king. It's the last PDW unlocked, and it's by far the best. Alright, the one coming out in the close quarters combat is going to be the MP5K. You can see it here next to the dude's left hand after he got pwned by the sniper. It is a fairly ugly gun, if you ask me. It'll probably be running it, if it's realistically based, a 900 round per minute, low damage, probably either more than likely a 30 round magazine if they go off of real life magazines. Here you can see it's silenced. It does not have a stock. As you can see here, it does have a foregrip. For some reason, they decided not to use the obvious choice in my mind, which would have been the MP5K-PDW, which is a folding stock version that can actually mount suppressors and stuff. They chose not to, though, so that's what we're going to get. So I'm guessing it's going to be another pea shooter, but it's going to have probably less recoil than the other pea shooters, making it better at range, but having the high rate of fire but less bullets in the magazine, and probably no extended magazine option. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you want a more in-depth video on any of the PDWs, I'd be happy to do it, except for with the PDWR. Thanks for watching, I guess, again. I already said that. Yeah. Anyways, have a good one.